Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. It's a Monday, beautiful day out there. Going to be a great week. Hey, the Astros won last night. They're still alive in the World Series. They're coming home and they play tomorrow night. So there's still a chance. Don't give up on those Astros. We have got a great week ahead of us. A lot of special guests throughout the week here on Up to the Minute. And today's show is no exception. Before we get to our guest this morning, Dr. Tony Rayo-Sutherland is joining me. And congratulations, Tony. You made it to November. Today is November the 1st. Can you believe it?
I know, we're at the end of the year. Can you believe that?
I know. And holiday season is almost upon us. We're going to be taking off in a few weeks for the Thanksgiving holidays. And then, of course, the main holiday break is coming up in December, and we all love that. So more on that later on in the month. But first things first, we are on HCCTV. We want to thank all of you for watching us live right now on Facebook and YouTube. But you can also catch the rebroadcast on HCCTV at noon and 5 p.m., Tony. And they can follow us across all social media as well.
Absolutely. Just look for Houston Community College District. Don't just look for HCC, look for Houston Community College District on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, and you will find us there.
That's right. We are all across those social media platforms. Okay, Tony, big news because Houston Fashion Week or Fashion Week Houston is coming up and HCC is involved. You're going to be talking with this next guest more about this in a little while. Please welcome to the show, Michele Snelson. She's the program coordinator for cosmetology, barber, and esthetician programs with the Consumer Arts and Science Center of Excellence. Good morning to you, Michele. How are you?
Good morning, Todd. Just fine. Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We've got looking forward to hearing more about Fashion Week Houston and how we're playing a role in that. It's going to be exciting for our students. Stick around. We'll be with you shortly. So grab a cup of coffee. We'll check in with you in about 10 minutes.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, we're going to kick things off. It's the first Monday of the month, falls on the 1st. It's a Monday. That's right. It means Mental Health Monday. And Dr. Sean Fitzpatrick, he's the executive director of the Jung Center of Houston, joins us this morning. Good morning, Sean. How are you?
Good morning, Todd. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. You know, this morning, I think we were going to have to shift gears to maybe talk about depression across the city of Houston. If the Astros didn't win last night, you know, this would be headed in a whole different direction. A lot of people would be upset. There's still a chance, a lot of anticipation across the city, but there's still a chance. You know, one thing that we've noticed in the news over the last 18 months, specifically in the last 6 months, are people seem to be very ticked off these days, especially when they get on an airplane. I don't know what it is. They lose their mind, like they're sitting in traffic. Air rage incidents, similar to road rage incidents, they're just as dangerous, but people are going crazy when they board a plane. What is going on there?
So there's a great word that dates back to the origins of psychoanalysis from Sigmund Freud. The word is overdetermined. And what that means simply is that there's more than one reason that something is happening. Any which of them would be sufficient for it to happen. There are so many reasons why people would be angry and so many reasons why people would be afraid right now. And that's what I feel is driving air rage and road rage incidents.
Well, you see them all the time. I mean, just the other day, we saw, when you're speaking of road rage, you saw a motorist stop on a freeway, get out of his car in moving traffic, and then go to punch somebody who was in a delivery truck. I mean, crazy stuff is happening. You'd think when you get on an airplane, you fall under FAA guideline rules. They're going to arrest you. You're not going to get away with it, but people are losing their minds. I want to ask you this. Is this alcohol fueled? Because, you know, there have been airlines talking about not serving drinks on airplanes.
Yeah, it's a good question. Again, there's more than one thing going on, but I feel that the way in which the role that alcohol has played in our lives during the pandemic is amplified, just like everything else. So much else has been amplified during the pandemic in terms of how we navigate our feelings, how we manage. We would talk about regulating our emotion. And so alcohol during the pandemic has become a tool for that people have used in the absence of other tools. And the problem with that is that it means that they're really not paying attention to how their anger is manifesting. And it's not just anger, it's what's beneath the anger. Anger is a powerful emotion that is unfortunately socially acceptable to express in ways that it's not socially acceptable to express fear and hurt and other emotions that make us a little bit more vulnerable.
Well, you kind of hit the nail on the head there. And what you were talking about kind of reminds me of a Seinfeld episode. And I don't know if you remember this, when George, Seinfeld's best friend, decided, when he was at work, people would leave him alone if he just acted angry all the time. They thought he was determined. They thought he was, working hard. He was stressed out because he was a hard worker. And he figured, I'm just going to act angry all the time because people think I'm doing the right thing, because it was acceptable. If you're angry, it could perceive that you're busy, you have things going on in your life, especially if you're in the workplace environment. I guess you really have to watch it when you're in workplace, because that anger, if you can't control it at home, you're not going to control it at work either.
No, that is exactly right. And again, for me, there are plenty of reasons to be angry. There are also, so let me make a distinction. So researchers on emotion talk about primary emotion and secondary emotion. And primary emotion are rooted in our gut response to any given moment. It's what's actually happening in our bodies in any given moment. And secondary emotion can be a reaction to that emotion. So when we're feeling, afraid or hurt or confused or uncertain or even shame, right? Those things make us vulnerable. And anger then kicks in as a way of helping to mask that. It's also more socially acceptable, right? Because if you express vulnerability, if you express shame, people may take advantage of you, or they just are made uncomfortable and don't know what to do with it. That's really fun, George. Anger.
Remember that episode? It was a good episode.
Very powerful tool.
It was a tool for him, but we all got to watch it. I mean, it can come across anyone. I know when this pandemic first started, we were all under a lot of stress. We were all working remotely, especially at HCC. And I know when we would have we still have daily editorial meetings with all of our staff. And there was one point back in like April of 2020 or so last year when people kept asking the same questions. And one person would say another thing. And I had to say, just stop it now, And everybody kind of just looked at me and I had to step back. Because, later in the meeting, I'm like, look, guys, I'm sorry about that. I can't be doing that. I apologize. But we all got to catch ourselves, because any of us could fall into the anger trap, especially when you've got all those pressures and stress that we've faced over the last 18 months.
That's exactly right. And Todd, you did exactly the right thing, right? So you owned it. You owned that what you were expressing was outsized, right? And probably you had something important to do, which was to regulate the meeting, like get people so that we could all understand each other and are actively communicating. But the response was outsized. So we all have a responsibility to regulate our emotion, but that requires paying attention to it. That requires knowing what's actually happening.
Let's talk about regulating. How do you watch yourself and keep yourself in check? I mean, just as anyone in this world over the last 18 months has undergone tremendous amounts of stress from one place or another. Now we're trying to get back into normal. So how do you keep yourself in check as we're moving into whatever normal is going to look like for us?
From my vantage point, it is an ongoing, deceptively simple process. You have to allow yourself times to be present, right? So what is actually happening right now? I don't need to be in my inbox. I don't need to be in that meeting that's coming up or in that conflict I had back there. I need to be right here, right now. And the second thing is feel what you feel. But what that really means is pay attention to your body, because we don't feel anger. We don't feel shame. What we feel is constriction in our bowels and sweat and headaches and things like that. So we want to pay attention. And if we're doing that on an ongoing basis, just checking in, then we're going to be more fluent in understanding what's actually happening within us at any given time and starting to make some connections about where it's coming from. Like, does this really have to do with the situation right now? Or does it have to do with the way that I've been, scared or frustrated, or, with a lot of different people in my life or in a lot of different situations. And this just happens to be a situation in which it's emerging.
If you're watching the anger in yourself, how do you approach your loved ones when you see them getting stressed out and angry, especially over the last, year or so? How do you approach it with children and maybe a spouse and a coworker?
Yeah. So I think that, first of all, with children, I would say that most issues with children, when children and parents get crosswise, don't have to do with the child regulating their emotion. They have to do with the parent learning how to regulate their emotion. Core to that is being able to, in the moment, in any given moment with a child, you're going to be tested, right? And at any given moment, you may not be able to step away and go scream at your pillow, or hit baseballs in a batting cage or something like that, right? You're going to need to manage what's happening in the moment, but you do need those kinds of experiences when you're apart from it. With adults, with partners or other family members, it can be a little bit more complicated. And I am a huge fan of a timeout, that you have understandings in your relationships with the people around you, that it is supportive and protective of the relationship for you to say, whoa, I need to take a time out. I'm overwhelmed. This is not going to be productive. What's essential to taking a time out is having a time to resume the conversation, because you don't want it to just shut down, to use that as a tool to say, I'm not going to listen to you, or what you're saying is not important. You have to be able to say, taking a time out, can we pick this back up at 8:00 tomorrow morning over coffee? Or can we pick this up, in 15 minutes or an hour or something like that? Because what you're saying is important to me. So you make the other person feel as though they're actually being heard before you step away.
Sean Fitzpatrick, he is the executive director of the Jung Center. You should stop by and see him. I know you guys are open again. You're in the Museum District of Houston. What's your hours and what days are you open?
We are open Monday through Saturday. Monday through Thursday, we're open 10 to 6. Friday, we're open 10 to 4, and Saturday, noon to 4. And online, a lot of times outside of that.
And they can find you online. We'll put your website address in the social media post for the show. Sean, it's always good to see you. Thank you for being here this morning on Mental Health Monday.
My pleasure, and go Astros.
There you go. Go Astros. Hopefully next time we'll be having a conversation about being elated after, having a championship brought to the city again. So let's keep that in mind for next time.
Amen. Amen. Bye, y'all. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to Dr. Tony Reyes-Sutherland. Tony is going to be talking about Houston Fashion Week. Tony, this is an inaugural thing. I want to hear all about that and how we got a role in it.
Absolutely. We have Michele Snelson. She's the program coordinator of the Cosmetology, Barber, and I have the trouble pronouncing that word, esthetician programs of the Consumer Arts and Science COE. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tony. You can say facial specialist.
Yeah, there you go. That one's much easier. Thank you very much.
Sure thing.
Okay. Anyways, we have a wonderful thing coming up. We're going to have Fashion Week in Houston. It ranks up there with New York, Paris, Milan, and it's going to be November 18th. Tell us a little bit about that. It will be at the Rise Rooftop. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, we're going to be... the Glam Squad, as we call ourselves, has been invited to do hair and makeup for several different fashion houses. And Raul Penaranda, he's been named the new king of New York by Fashion Week Houston, or I should say Vogue. And we're excited to be doing hair and makeup for his models. And we were at the River Oaks Country Club doing a fashion show. And once our Glam Squad was finished, we were exiting, and so many people were stopping and asking for business cards from another professor, Miss Bradley, and myself. And next thing I know, I get a phone call, and that's how we ended up getting to work with Raul Penaranda, Derek Rutledge, Oprah Winfrey's makeup artist. He does Michelle Obama as well. We have Tree Baelo and Edric Espinoza that are going to be coming to the Southeast campus and working with the Glam Squad on the hair and makeup portion, November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And we're looking forward to collaborating with them. So it's fast and furious. So we just got through doing the fashion show with our fashion design department at the Heinen Theater this past weekend, which was really, really awesome. So it's one fashion show after another. We're back up and rolling again now that, people are getting back to more of a normal sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and we always tell people, you never know who's watching, what's happening. You think you're just doing a normal whatever, and then, whoa, something big happens, so always do your best, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. And, that's just a big testament to your group and their talents and all of that.
And Tony, you're right about that, because while we were at the River Oaks show, Victor Costa was the fashion designer, and he was actually there. And he came over and asked us if we would, comb spray his hair. And, of course, we were happy to. And so he hung out with us. And then all the models, that we did their hair for, they had to go and get dressed, which our fashion design dressers were there as well. And so he would call the models back over into where we were doing the hair portion. And it was amazing. We were learning from him all kinds of little tricks of the trade. And it was just a great collaboration that day with our fashion design department and, of course, the cosmetology department. So we rocked it. We had a great time. And so you are absolutely right, because everyone was so professional. HCC students, they are awesome. And they're able to continue with these many more fashion shows.
Absolutely. And both the fashion department and cosmetology, y'all are, people know you from all over because of the wonderful work that you guys put out. Very professional.
Well, thank you.
Now, how many people are expected to come to this Houston Fashion Week?
What I've been told is there's right now 400 attendees. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people to impress.
Yes. I'm told by the fashion house of Remy Toe, that's who I've been communicating back and forth with. The lady's name is Rana Mendocino, and she's been just so awesome with everything, inviting us and giving really good information. Erica Badu, she is going to be the open act. Mayor Turner is going to do the ribbon cutting. There's going to be more designers, fashion designers that will be there as well. We're just so excited to be a part of it. It's just really, it's going to be an awesome event for our students. So
now, you gave us some names. Now, who is the head designer for this particular event?
Okay, the head designer is Raul Penaranda, and I hope that I'm saying his name correctly. And then there's many more that I can't even remember their names, but we were so excited to get to work with Derek Rutledge, Oprah Winfrey and Michelle Obama's makeup artist. He's been sketching out the makeup looks, and Tree Vialo is going to, she also is a makeup artist, but first a hairstylist. So she'll be working with the students as well. And, that's just really something awesome for our students to put on their resume. And they're going to be coming to the Southeast campus, like I said, November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and working with the students. So the students are extremely excited. And we've got 10 hairstylists picked from our 4 campuses, and we have 10 makeup artists picked. Of course, our esthetician or facial specialist program is at the Southeast campus, and our eyelash extension program is at the Southeast campus as well. So the 10 will come from those 2 programs. So I think it's Paige Parks professional models will be at the event, and it'll be at 7:00 at Rise Rooftop in Midtown. So we'll be there probably all day working up until the show starts.
Wonderful. Now, what's the theme of the show? There's always a theme for these shows.
Yes, ma'am. It's a Parisian theme. And matter of fact, I had to print pictures of Audrey Hepburn, Brigitte Bardot, Sophia Loren, Raquel Welch, because
I had no clue who they were.
And you're exactly right. And so I was taping them to my dry erase board, and I was like, okay, ladies, gather around. Here is basically who I want you to look at them. Look at how their hairstyles. And they were like, their little mouths were just kind of hanging open. And I was like, oh, goodness sakes, I'm getting old. But anyway, so we had a learning moment with the those 4 beautiful ladies. But yes, it's a Parisian theme. And I cannot believe that, here it's right around the corner. So lots of practice is going to take place.
We are excited. We are excited for you. I mean, this is great for HCC in Houston. I mean, this is a wonderful thing. Michele Snelson, program coordinator of the Cosmetology Barber and Esthetician, did I say it right? Programs.
Way to go.
Of the Consumer Arts and Science COE. So thank you so much for being on the show. This is going to be exciting.
Yes, it is. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Michele.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go on with our HCC news and information. Tony is going to study up on how to say esthetician. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, we'll study up on that. Okay, our news and announcements for today. We want to let you know the Bedichek Orman auction is coming up. I believe it's this Saturday. Yep, this Saturday, November the 6th. And they need donated items. They need your help to donate items. They also want you to register to attend, bid on the auction items, because they're raising money. The proceeds support professional development opportunities for HCC faculty. Great deal. So make sure you support them and join them. Saturday, November the 6th, which is this Saturday. Put it on your calendar. We'll have emails for more information in our post after the show. And our Branding Academy is coming up as well next week, Tony.
Do-it-yourself branding for small businesses. There'll be 5 hands-on sessions that'll be explained by HCC digital communication instructor. And he's going to show you all kinds of things about how you use images, text, color, all those different things to promote your business. You'd be amazed at how that can make a difference in how you brand yourself. It will be Monday and Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m., November 8th and 9th. Those are the first 2 sessions. So make sure that you check that out. It'll be done at the West Houston Institute.
That's right. Okay. Feeling overwhelmed. We talked about anger problems earlier in the show. Well, we've got tips to manage your college studies. HCC's counseling department is covering such topics as time and stress management to help students reach their academic goals. This is happening next Wednesday, November the 10th from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. If you'd like to register to attend the event, of course, it's free. You can register, and then we'll have a link in our social media post. Drama production, Everyman is coming up.
Absolutely. My colleagues are putting on, and their students are putting on, it's called Summoning of Everyman. Most people have not ever heard it that way. They've just heard it as Everyman, but it's a 15th century morality play. And it's going to be really neat. Don't think that because, oh, that's pretty old. It's going to be very moving. So be sure and watch that. It's going to be, you'll be able to see it Monday, November 15th at 7:30 p.m. And you go to it to the Virtual Arts Center YouTube channel. Now they're staging it in the theater as a regular play, but because of COVID and all this, you get to see it via YouTube. But
Tony, let me ask you a question. Will they have any type of audience in that theater, or are they just going to be performing it?
Well, they will, but it won't be an audience per se because of copyright. Once you do that, then you got to pay the lecture and all that. But they will have, like friends who are not.
Yeah, right. More friends of the staff and the technical experts there.
Right. So there'll be somebody there.
Okay. All right. There's a food drive coming up. If you want to help others, HCC Psychology Department, Psi Kappa, and Psi Beta student organizations are inviting all students to pick up food donation bags for $5 and $7 at Kroger, HEB, and the Houston Food Bank. Be sure to take a photo of yourself so HCC can show your generous support. That runs through December the 5th. We'll have some information on our in a post in our social media post for the show afterwards. And get this, it's hard to believe. I know we're November the 1st, but spring 2022 registration is underway.
We're just now thinking about winter and Christmas and all of this, and we got to also think about spring to register.
Yeah, registration's underway. We still have those 5 ways to learn. 2 of them are completely online. Then we have hybrids courses where you can take some in person, some online. And of course, we started back last month with in-person classes on HCC campuses. They're very small, not as large as they used to be. So if you haven't been to one in a while, you want to sign up early, get the time you want, the instructor you want, because there are a lot of popular ones like Tony, and their classes get taken right away, and you don't get a chance to register for them. Register now. Go to hccs.edu/now and register. Okay, tomorrow on the show, we got a couple of things happening, Tony.
Yes, we will examine the Katy ISD dual credit program, which is very exciting, with Lillian Baldwin of the P216 Initiatives Program and Joan Otten of Katy ISD.
And we're featuring Roots Wine Bar. It's Tasty Tuesday, and Chef Andre Garza will be on the show. So all that and more tomorrow and up to the minute. Tony will be back. I'll be back. We'll see you all tomorrow morning live at 10 a.m.